Well. You're not gonna believe this, but my paddles showed up. I mounted them to my wheels. And look at that machine. Holy crap, guys. Welcome back to another video. Just a quick update. The last videos were a lot of glamorous heavy content, a lot of editing. This one's gonna be super easy. Just gonna show you guys a little update on the Maverick R. I'm so surprised how sexy this looks. I was a little worried. 35s. I know some guys have put them on, but I was still a little worried. I was gonna have some knuckle rub, or the fact that we actually ride this machine pretty hard. I was worried they're gonna rub on the fenders, but the offset fixes that. So if you guys saw some of the other videos where we tried the Maverick R in Glamis, the 35s that were on there, they were motor rallies with stock rims, and the tire was butted up right against the knuckle, and a full bottom out, it would rub in that area right there. And it's not a lot, tiny little kiss. I think it's the other side is worse. And yes, it is very much worse. I don't know why, but that side is worse. I was worried that this was going to be an issue, but it seems like since it's pushed out from the offset, you know, it still might rub, but I don't think it'll be as bad. Like, it was rubbing over here. Now that the tire's pushed out a few inches, it'll be in this area. Then again, these are taller. Don't know, but hopefully the Maverick R doesn't have issues with the tires rubbing. And if it does, then for sure we're just gonna have to trim it, because the dirt setup that I'm gonna be running on this machine is also gonna be Venom wheels like these. And they're also gonna have a wider offset, meaning it shouldn't have the issue I was having with the stock rims. Speaking of stock rims and those motor rally tires, we're actually transferring those to some other rims. We'll talk about that in just a second. But yeah, these Venom wheels, bam! So freaking cool with the floating caps. I do have to replace these lug nuts because a lot of them are, the paint's flaking off, and I got some replacements. But man, what a beast. This thing looks freaking insane. I didn't show you guys the front yet. Look at how wide this thing is.
All right, bring her through.
Peter, stop it.
It's just freaking ridiculous. We're gonna get a measuring tape and measure that in just a second. I don't care. It's freaking sick. The only problem I have now is my trailer. So, gonna have to figure that one out. Might have to sell my trailer and get a different one. I got a lot of work going on at the house. A lot of stuff. This is like the last set of Utah-made HCR arms. If you guys don't know, HCR got bought by Super ATV, and supposedly the quality is still going to be there. They're transferring everything to Indiana. They're getting welders. They're going to have, you know, welding stations. They're still going to be TIG welded, same materials. So hopefully, I'll update you guys on that. We will continue to sell HCR, but I don't know exactly the quality differences, but we'll see that. Let's bust out the measuring tape. We're going to measure the front and the rear on the Maverick R now that we have these crazy paddles on here. All right. Hopefully this thing doesn't move. And it will. Come on. Come on, baby. Alright, push that in just a little bit. We've all been here. Come on, boy. Basically, 90.5 inches wide. Oh, 91 inches. Holy crap, this thing is so wide. That is insane. Divide that by 12, what's that? Just under 8 feet wide.
God damn.
See how the front is. I think the front's gonna be the same. 89, 91 inches. This has got to be one of the widest machines. Probably is the widest machine on the market for sure, with a paddle setup. Definitely wider than a Razor. Man. Can't wait to drive this thing in Glamis with these paddles. It's gonna be nuts. There's a few changes coming to this machine. For one, if you guys saw, I carved up these. I went ahead and hit them with a little Dremel just to smooth them out so it's not sharp anymore. You know, it doesn't look pretty, but I'm not worried about it. But I am going to do these red because the anodizing, you can see it here, is turning purple, which doesn't do anything for strength, but it doesn't look that great. So I'm going to powder coat these red after probably New Year's. I want to make sure our New Year's trip is with this car. And then the rear setup. I like these bags, but honestly, they just get too much dirt and sand all in this area. We're gonna do a trunk from TMW. So that's gonna look cool, but I had to send that out to powder coat, and I am gonna send this out to powder coat. So we're gonna have a lot more red in the back, which to me, I like the red. So front, nothing's gonna change. Inside, nothing's gonna change other than door bags. I am getting some door bags from TMW. They're being custom made for me, which is great. It's gonna match my seats, XXX. I'm not sure if I'm gonna keep running this setup, just because this thing is so goddamn flimsy, this GPS mount. So I might just go back to the regular cubby, and then well, yeah, that's it. I mean, nothing else. Nothing's a problem. This car ran great in Glamis, and hopefully it continues to run great. Performance mods, there is a couple changes that we are gonna do, and that is gonna be the Evolution Power Sports intake, cold air intake. So we're gonna get rid of that box, and then we'll probably do this in a future video where we run the tube and it goes behind this guy, or in that area. The cold air filter will be in there. Also, there is a new breather relocation for the catch can from RPM. I've stuffed a bunch of stuff in that catch can to minimize the blow by coming out of the can. But really, this engine, I don't know what it is about it, but it produces so much blow by. This thing is constantly pushing out air through the crankcase system, and it's not just my car. I've seen it in a lot of them, and it pushes out a lot out of the catch can. Like, I'm not making a mess back here of oil or anything like that. It's not dripping, but I could definitely smell it really bad. And I don't think it matters where I put the can. It's just, it's lingering around in the area when I'm like at idle in park. Once I'm driving, it doesn't matter, but definitely in idle, in park, it is a problem. But yeah, we're gonna do that. We're gonna go ahead and put a relocation that RPM is coming out with. I think in that area in there. So that's gonna help with the smells, because it actually will get pulled through the fans and pushed out the back. So different things going on, especially for you guys that have this catch can. You guys know what I mean. Other than that, there's nothing else. The exhaust sounds great. I love the exhaust. No problems with that. Charge tubes and blowout valve, they do their job. They sound great. Suspension has been killing it. I'm very happy with the suspension. The CT Raceworks kit is perfect, other than this, but that's not their fault. I gotta take these bolts off still. Put that on my to-do list. Inside here, I gotta do a review on this shifter. So I got not much to say right now on this shifter, because in Glamis, it's like these gears are so short. It's a 7-speed. They're so close together. It's very difficult to use the shifter while duning. Playing with the shifter in the dunes is difficult because I've got my eyes on the prize. I'm following whoever I'm following and just trying to get it, you know, through the dunes and maneuver them. So shifting, I haven't really got a chance to like really just hoon it like Ken Block, you know, like pulling the gears is fun up until you're already duning, and it's like I'm focusing on not crashing the car. So the shifter so far has been awesome. I really do like the operation of it versus the OEM one. I love the way the indicators light up. We'll show you guys that in a future video. But I'd like to take this to the desert to really try it out, to really showcase, you know, how it's actually useful in the desert. In Glamis, I got my hands on the wheel, dude. Like, so I haven't been able to use that. The 2 switch pros on my machine just work flawlessly. During driving this during the day, during the night, I have all my controls over there on the switch pros. Same thing here. I turn on all my lights and it works perfectly. The dome lights were cool. This machine is a pleasure to drive. 100%. Is it my favorite car to drive right now? I don't know yet. The Pro R the other day in Veterans pleasantly surprised me. Like, we'll talk about that in another video. This machine here is freaking awesome, but there's a lot to explain. So like when you're driving this machine, you have to have it, especially in the dunes where we're in Glamis, you have to have it in Sport Plus mode all the time to stay in the power band. Because if you put it in Sport even, and definitely you can't put it in normal mode, but even if you put it in Sport, there's turbo lag. You know, this is a big heavy car. This is basically almost the same size engine as the previous machine, the X3, but this thing weighs a lot more. So this thing definitely has some turbo lag, and it doesn't become apparent as much until you drive that Razor Pro R. It's pretty crazy. So in Sport Plus mode, it is comparable to the Razor Pro R as far as like snappiness. It's not the same still. The other one's a naturally aspirated machine. Definitely not a... It's different, alright? The power is different. I definitely love the Pro R, how it drives. The power, it needs more power, but it's snappy. The power you have is so much easier to use. This machine, a little bit of lag, and when the power kicks in, it kicks in hard, and depending on where you're at on that bowl, it could be a great thing, it also could be a bad thing. So just some things to talk about. We'll touch base on the differences between the two machines in the future. Right now I just want to give you guys an update on this one. Oh, Maverick R, I love it. Let me go show you guys the wheels that we've been using for the last two trips or whatever it was. These are the EFX Moto Rallies. This is an 8-ply tire, 35-inch, and on these it's actually a 16-inch rim. That's because these are the factory wheels. So the B-lock rings are off, and that's because we're actually replacing the rims. We're putting different rims on these tires, or these tires on different rims, because we actually want to try out a different offset, because KMC is going to be making a 16-inch version of their wheels for the Maverick R to fit with these 16-inch tires, to be a nice replacement for that, Maverick R. And for the time being, they gave me some test rims. These rims are actually for like a pickup truck, Silverado, with the same lug pattern. And they're actually kind of big and heavy dogs. This whole cast piece is really beefy and heavy. They're fake B-locks, but the whole point is to try out the offset to make sure we have a perfect offset. So when they make their production version KMC wheel, we'll know where we stand as far as fitment goes on this machine. So the idea is the same motor rallies I had previously, but with a little bit more offset coming out towards the outside, which would mean, a little bit more gap between the knuckles, which is the problem that we were seeing up here. Now, they didn't rub in the sand. Oh yeah, they did rub in the sand. You see that?
Son of a...
They did rub in the sand, which is an issue. And definitely they don't want that. So that's why a different offset is gonna work perfectly. Oh man, it rubbed over here too. Son of a gun. Let me see the other side. Oh yeah. So definitely rubs. Motherfuckers. As you guys can see, this thing is freaking... It used to be gloss black. Did you know that? It was gloss black before. And sometimes you gotta bite the bullet and realize that stuffing isn't gonna stay pretty in off-road. But that's okay. We always refresh the machine during the summer. But yeah, that's the plan for the wheels. So we're gonna have a desert setup for the temporary with those wheels. Apart from that, I have another desert setup on BFG KM3s, and there are also a set of Venom wheels. So I got two sets of Venom wheels, basically the same design on the other ones, except for the offset is obviously way different. The face is towards the front of the rim, so the rim and wheel tire setup sinks in, so we don't have such a wide vehicle. So I want the, for the desert, I want to have a stock, close to stock offset, so it doesn't have a lot of steering feedback. But we'll worry about that when it's desert season. Right now it's dune season, and we got the Sandcrafts on here on the Venom 12-inch rims, and they look freaking sick. I want to show you guys how big these things actually are, because they are freaking huge. So let's grab one of these motor rallies and just show you how much bigger these freaking Sandcrafts are. And remember, it's on the car. The weight of the car is on the machine. But even then, it dwarfs them. I mean, you could pass these as like 36s, maybe 37s. Let's grab the measuring tape and just get an idea. 81 inches wide. Oh, man, it's crazy. Let's get the measuring tape out. I'm telling you guys. Oh yeah. So the carcass, to the carcass, we're at 35 and a half. You see that? And then right at the paddle, right at 36 inches. They're so freaking wide. Damn. It's wide. Now I'm really worried it's gonna rub. I really don't know now. Super sick. One thing about the Sandcrafts when compared to like the STUs is they are a bit narrow. Not a ton. Maybe I'm over exaggerating this, but they definitely don't look as wide as a STU. And I'm talking about like at least 1.5 inches, narrower. But I mean, this is 18 paddles, should be plenty, and this machine should scoot. Even Deadpool's excited. Look at him.
This just feels right.
That's it for this video. We'll see you guys in the next one. Just want to update you guys on the Maverick R. So far, so good. Peace out. Got work to do, man. God damn it.